Welcome to Winchester, the ancient capital of England. Every corner is steeped in the stories that shaped the course of the country, making it a truly unique and exciting place to visit today. In this travel guide, we share our top 5 must-visit places that truly capture Winchester's fascinating story.
It's really narrow.
Number 1. Winchester Cathedral. For epic views of the city, or to admire the architecture itself, Winchester is home to one of the most magnificent cathedrals in Europe. This towering landmark isn't just a feast for the eyes, but a journey through over 900 years of history. From stunning Gothic architecture to the intricate stained glass windows, there's something here to captivate everyone. While admiring the cathedral's beauty, it's easy to forget that it was almost lost forever in the 1900s, when walls and floors started slowly sinking and cracking as the foundations were built on waterlogged ground. After many failed attempts to stabilise and save the building, more drastic measures were needed, and they came along in the shape of one man who is now known as the person who single-handedly saved the cathedral. William Walker, a deep-sea diver, worked in complete darkness, submerged in freezing water beneath the cathedral for 6 long years. He placed thousands of bags of concrete to shore up the foundations. His bravery and perseverance ultimately saved Winchester Cathedral from ruin. Today, a modest statue marks the courage and determination of the man who preserved this incredible piece of history for future generations. A nearby pub also celebrates William Walker's legacy, and we'll visit this pub and more brilliant places to eat and drink in next week's episode. So please do subscribe for a great taste of Winchester.
This is the best Scotch egg I've ever had.
Back to the cathedral, and while we're on the subject of water, another fascinating feature is the cathedral's crypt. It regularly floods, creating an eerie yet captivating atmosphere. Standing within the crypt is a striking statue by Anthony Gormley. For those seeking an unforgettable view of the city, consider taking the guided tower and roof tour. Climbing the spiral staircases and navigating hidden passageways leads you to the top of the tower, where you'll be rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views across Winchester and the surrounding countryside. Along the way, guides share fascinating insights into the architecture and history of the cathedral, and you'll also visit the ringing room and bell room, as well as seeing more unusual things like ancient graffiti. I'm from Bristol, so I had to mention it.
It's really narrow.
The staircases are very narrow, so we were given this great walking technique before starting our journey back down. I love climbing towers, so I'm definitely going to remember this tip. Number 2. The Great Hall and King Arthur's Round Table. Built in the 13th century by Henry VIII, the Great Hall was the beating heart of Winchester Castle, one of the key administrative centres of medieval England. The Round Table, which hangs impressively on the wall, was originally crafted in the 13th century and later painted during the reign of Henry VIII, with King Arthur depicted at its centre. Every building tells a story, and standing in the Great Hall, which has witnessed royal, political and dramatic events that have shaped the course of English history, was a real highlight of the trip. As part of your visit to the Great Hall, you can step outside into Queen Eleanor's garden, a peaceful recreation of a medieval herb and rose garden. It's the perfect spot to unwind and imagine the grandeur that once surrounded this iconic place. Number 3. Winchester Market and High Street. Winchester Market runs every Thursday, Friday and Saturday. The market sprawls across the High Street and is filled with stalls selling everything from artisanal goods and fresh produce to unique crafts and vintage finds. I bought this lovely hat. The High Street itself is the heart of Winchester's shopping and dining scene. It's home to many historic buildings, and I'll show you a few of them now.
Don't forget to look up.
We're starting at the Pentice, a row of buildings with distinctive overhanging upper floors that once housed market stalls beneath. The name comes from the Old English Pentice, meaning a lean-to or shelter. Nearby you'll find the Buttercross, a 15th century monument where traders once gathered to sell goods. The intricate stonework and age-worn steps make it a striking feature of the High Street, serving as a reminder of Winchester's long-standing market traditions. A tradition that I am very glad is still thriving today. While you're on the High Street, keep an eye out for the Town Hall, an impressive Victorian Gothic building. The Saxons' most famous king, Alfred the Great, made Winchester the capital of his kingdom, Wessex. This magnificent statue of Alfred has kept a watchful eye over the High Street since 1899. If you look closely, the top row of windows aren't real, they're actually all painted. Don't miss the narrow lanes. In Hammond's Lane, anyone committing a nuisance in this passage will be prosecuted. There's lots more to see on the High Street, but finally you can't miss the WestGate, one of Winchester's surviving medieval city gates. This gate once marked the entrance to the city and now houses a small museum. From the top, you can enjoy fantastic views of the High Street below, the perfect way to round off a historic walk through the heart of the city. Before we move on to number 4, it's worth mentioning that the city gate on the High Street is one remnant of the old walled city's infrastructure, and I highly recommend taking a stroll around to admire more of the city's historic walls and gates. Number 4. Wolvesey Castle, the old bishop's palace. For something a little more atmospheric, Wolvesey Castle offers a crumbling glimpse into medieval Winchester. These defiant ruins were once the grand residence of the powerful bishops of Winchester. Wolvesey Castle played an important role in British history, particularly during the 12th century, when it was besieged during the conflict between Empress Matilda and King Stephen, making it a key site in the struggle for the English crown. Information panels dotted around the site explain its historical significance, bringing the story of the castle and its influential occupants to life. It's a peaceful spot to slow down and soak in the history. Plus, admission is free, so definitely worth a visit. I'll add links to all of the places we visit to the episode description so that you can easily find the latest opening times and ticket prices. Number 5. Winchester City Mill. This watermill is one of the oldest of its kind in the country and has ground flour for centuries. Sadly, it is currently undergoing repair work, but it has met its fundraising target, and so hopefully it will be restored in 2025. The staff and volunteers were friendly, and the cafe was a nice spot for a coffee. In next week's episode, I'll show you around the fantastic places we visited to eat and drink. From hearty breakfasts to lunch, dinner, and quirky places to enjoy your favourite tipple. Please do subscribe to join the adventure. Coming up is a bonus 6th place to visit, because no top 5 really stops at 5, does it? As part of your visit to the watermill, you can relax in the garden and take a closer look at the river Itchen. We visited in April and September and were amazed by how much the garden had grown.
Yeah, you had that visibility from the seating area to that river view down there.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's bold and like an oasis, isn't it?
The mill is also a good place to start a relaxing walk along the river. Number 6. A bonus look around the grounds of the Peninsula Barracks. This tranquil and historic site, once home to military barracks, now houses museums and residential apartments. We did not visit the museums, but the grounds themselves are a perfect spot for a relaxing stroll, providing a unique blend of history and tranquility right in the heart of Winchester. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and why not check out this video. Until next time, happy exploring!